Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel if you're new here. In today's video, we'll be showing you how to make homemade donuts. So we're making these donuts from scratch, and as you can see, we decorated them with all different types of designs, and it's just a really easy dish to make, and it's a lot of fun. So if you'd like to see how to make this, then please keep on watching. Okay, so per usual, we're starting off with our ingredients. So you're going to need 1 pack of instant yeast, 2 cups of flour, two tablespoons of sugar. You can use brown sugar like we have here, or you can use regular white sugar. You will need 1 egg, 2.5 tablespoons of melted butter, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 cups of warm milk, you're also going to need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Okay, so now we're moving on to the ingredients we use to do all of the toppings for our donuts. So you're going to need some icing sugar. We also had this leftover from one of our other pastry videos. It's a granola raisin coconut mix. We're also going to be using chocolate chips, but more specifically butterscotch chocolate chips. We're also using some shredded coconut. We're also using some Reese's Pieces. And we earlier fried up some bacon and chopped them up into little pieces, and we're going to be using this for one of the donuts as well. We also have this mix of nuts. I think there's cashews and different types of nuts there. We also have some M&Ms. And we wanted to make a bacon maple syrup sort of donut, so we have our maple syrup as well. Alright, so we're going to start off with our flour, so we're going to have that in a bowl separately. And then we're going to add your 1/4 teaspoon of salt into one corner of the flour. You're then going to add your 2 tablespoons of sugar on one end again of the flour. And your 1 pack of instant yeast. Now the reason why we're not putting these together is because you don't want it to deactivate the yeast if we clump them all together. So you're going to mix them in individually into the flour, and then after that you have your full mix. We're then adding 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then we're just mixing this together so that all of them are combined before we start building our dough. Okay, so now you're going to add the 1 egg that we mentioned earlier into the milk. And from there on, this is going to be what we're going to use to combine together with the flour to build our thick dough. You're then going to mix it together slowly with the melted butter and just whisk that all together. And then once it's all combined, you're going to then gradually add that into your flour, and you're going to start to see your dough clump together. And from there, you just keep mixing until it's one combined piece of dough. Now you see we decided to start using our hands because once it starts to clump together, it's kind of hard to keep using the whisk. Everything gets stuck onto it, so it's a lot easier to go in with your hands. Alright, so now we're adding in our 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence as well. And then we're going to continue mixing that. Now you could see off on the side here, we still have some of that melted butter mix that we had. So we're still adding that in gradually until we've added in all of it. Okay, so now we're taking some actual like regular not melted butter, and we're just adding that on top of our dough as well. And you may have seen this in our previous videos. If not, we'll link them in the description box. But when we make dough, usually this helps a lot with how moist and fluffy it gets, as well as cleaning out the bowl. So once you've kneaded that for about 5 to 7 minutes, you're going to cover it with a towel and let it rise for an hour. Okay, so after an hour, this is what our dough looks like. You can see it has risen quite a bit, so now we're going to start working with it. So you're going to flour a clean surface, and you're just going to plop that dough straight on there. This is just going to help it from sticking to your counter. And you could see already how absorbent it is, and we're just going to mash it down with our hands just to flatten it out ever so slightly before we go in with our rolling pin. So you could see that it's pretty stretchy and it's malleable, so you can move it around a lot. So we're gonna flatten this out for at least a 1/4 inch thick. You don't want to roll this out too thin, because once again you're not going to be able to make that really nice puffy donut. It's going to come up pretty flat, so you want to make sure that you have at least a 1/4 inch thickness with your dough. Alright, so once you have your desired thickness, as you can see here, we're doing this the old-fashioned way. We don't have a donut pan with us, so we're showing you an easy way to do it if you don't have one of those donut pans on hand. So you can just take a larger glass and just punch in those holes, just as if it was a cookie cutter. And from there, you can also use smaller glasses to get the hole. Now, you can just cut it out with a knife if you'd like to, but you get a more precise hole with a shot glass. So you can see we're using the bottom side of the shot glass for this first one. And for the second one, we're using the other side to show you that you can make different sizes and different sets of thickness in terms of the donuts that you make. Alright, so these are all of our donuts and donut holes. As you can see, some are thicker than others, and the holes are different for each one, and they are homemade, so that's okay. They don't have to be perfect, but if you do want them to be more precise, we would recommend using a donut pan. So you're going to let these sit for 30 minutes before we proceed to fry. Alright, so after letting those sit to rest for 30 minutes, we started frying these up. So you can fry on both sides for 1.5 to 2 minutes on each side, or until they're golden brown or to your desire. Now you can make them as brown as you'd like, or vice versa. Just make sure that they are cooked in the middle. You can usually tell because the outside it gets kind of harder and crispier. That's how you know that they're pretty much okay on the inside. So you can see when we flipped ours over, they're pretty much golden brown. Alright, so to save some time, we fried all of these off camera, and you can see that some of them are more crispier than others, and that's okay because we wanted some of them to be a little darker, a little more crispier for certain toppings. So you're gonna let this sit and cool for about 15 minutes before adding any toppings. That includes the glaze, anything at all, because if it's too hot, everything is just going to melt off and it's not going to stick and look as presentable as you'd like it to. Okay, so once your donuts are cooled down, we're going to start making our glaze. Now, making a glaze is pretty simple. All you need is some melted butter and some icing sugar. As you can see us mixing these together, it doesn't look like the same one that you see normal donuts on, but once you do put it on, it starts to become a lot more translucent, and it gives the donuts that shiny finish that we all know and love. So you can work with 1 at a time or 3 at a time, however it works for you, but you gotta work quickly because the glaze dries very quick, almost in minutes. So you want to make sure that it's still wet when you're adding your different toppings. Otherwise, once it dries, it starts to flake, and unfortunately nothing that you put on top will stay on top. So we're working with 3 at a time. Let's see how that goes, but work at whatever pace works for you, especially when you want to get creative with it. So you can see we're starting off with a bacon donut. Now this donut is going to have bacon and maple on it. Now we thought it was a lot easier to take it out and put it onto a plate, it was a lot easier to work with that way. On the rack, it was a little bit more difficult. So we're just adding on those individual pieces of bacon, and it was still kind of sticky, so that way all of the bacon stayed on top. And then we're just going to take the maple syrup and just drizzle that over the donut and let that dry on its own. You can also make them pretty plain if you'd like to, kind of like the original Krispy Kreme donuts, but without the powdered sugar, of course. But we added the glaze and then just added this powdered sugar on top. That's for someone who doesn't want too much sweet on it. This one is a more decadent one. We added our glaze. We also added some strawberry drizzlings of syrup, and we also added a strawberry flower in the middle and some powdered sugar on top. So this one is a pretty sweet one, and it also looks very cute. So we're gonna do the rest off camera, and then we'll come back to plate everything up. Alright, and we've completed all of our donuts. Now, this recipe made a ton of donuts, so if you want to cut down, you can, but it is a lot of donuts to work with. So you can see we did all different types here. We have a plain one, we have some with blueberries, some with some chocolate, nuts, and coconut. We have the Reese's Pieces, the M&Ms, everything that we mentioned earlier. We just kind of played around with it and used them on each donut. So you can get as creative as you like with this, and this is a great activity for kids as well because they can decorate their own donut. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to comment down below what you thought of this video and other videos on our channel, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos every week. Now, I know we skipped a week before, but we're back on it and we'll be there next week with a new video. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and thanks for watching. Bye.